people that are contributing to the vitality of the city in a major way are leading the whole frontier of sustainability. These people that are creating places that people want to be are pushing it forward, pushing the bar higher and higher in terms of what the potential is for urban living. And Steve enjoys that. Steve really enjoys this sort of back and forth, you know?
We have on the board a very good range of backgrounds from leaders around the world, a former president of Brazil, a former prime minister of Sweden, and we don't have anybody dealing directly in development issues. As important as the urban center is, Steve was early on to have an interest in that area. So he brings to our board a background in development that is very helpful to everyone there, understand what are the economic issues and with the sustainable issues. That's a valuable contribution.
The Green Codes Task Force was a broad effort to look at all the city's codes and regulations that impact buildings and make them more sustainable. Related has a real commitment to public service and real deep knowledge and expertise, and it's bringing those two things together that makes them such a valuable partner.
I would say Related is probably the most forward-thinking of the major developers in the city. Certainly when it comes to advocacy, they've been really at the forefront. There's a willingness to embrace regulation. Stephen told me once himself that his perspective on regulation is he's okay with it as long as it's sensible and has a level playing field. And that's an important perspective to have, and that's helped shift the debate in the city. So everything we've done in the last several years has happened with the support of the real estate industry, and I think Related is a big part of that.
Steve has always been a visionary. He sits down and thinks of projects that help move New York forward. In fact, the Far West Side and the subway going there was an idea we proposed in the Group of 35, and Steve was one of the people who pushed us to do it.
Hudson Yards is quite unique by any measure, I think. The vastness of this brownfield, which has existed in the center of the city for such a long period of time, is almost without precedent when you look around the world. It's starting to connect, you know, this whole edge of the city in a way that people never knew it existed. It's going to be a remarkable event for New York City.
Why is a major billion-dollar company involved, so deeply in this thing called sustainability? I mean, what do they get from it? And it's, again, I wonder this a lot because I'd like there to be more Relateds out there. But I do think there's an intersection of both personal commitment coming from Stephen and some of the other kind of senior leaders in the company, and kind of a sense of this is where business is going. This is what this has been the trend in real estate, and no one wants to have an asset on their hands 10 years from now they should have built differently.
WRI is honoring Steve Ross because he makes a difference, because he understands and cares about the mission that we have, not only sustainable cities, but the entire mission of sustainability, because he's a leader in the field, and because he represents an opportunity to influence other real estate developers. He's making a difference.
His projects, like Columbus Circle and Hudson Yards, have an extraordinary impact on the economic vitality of our city. He still continues to lead on affordable housing as well, as he's been doing for 40 years. Steve's work on the Hunters Point project, which is the largest affordable housing complex to be built in New York since the 70s, is great. And Steve, I ride my bike by your project every so often. I ride my bike around the city, and it's going great, and it's exciting to watch it be built.
I've always found him to be, since the first time I met him, very down-to-earth, very human person. You could talk to him about any subject. One never felt there was much pretense here. He and I play golf together, and his game is almost as weak as my game.